Okay, let's dive in. The sources we gathered this week, they're all pointing towards a global system that isn't just shifting. It feels like it's fundamentally decoupling.
That's the word for it. It's like major power centers are all hitting the accelerator, but in completely different directions.
So for this deep dive, we've structured it around what we see as three huge pillars of that divergence.
Exactly. First, there's geopolitical fragmentation. Then, this profound monetary policy asymmetry. And finally, a massive leap in tech we're calling the quantum apex.
So our mission here is to figure out what are the real consequences when key global players just start going their own way. Let's start with the geopolitics, Corey.
Well, the most visible sign is the erosion of transatlantic unity. I mean, look at French President Macron's recent visit to China.
To mediate the Russia-Ukraine conflict, right?
To mediate, yes. It's a classic case of European strategic hedging. They're prioritizing their own regional stability over, sticking strictly to the U.S. line.
And that move really gets at the core friction point. Beijing now accounts for it's a staggering 38% of Moscow's fossil fuel revenues.
That's 5.4 billion euros a month.
A month. That economic lifeline is the single biggest factor allowing Russia to weather sanctions. And it explains why Europe suddenly needs to talk directly to Beijing.
Right. And you have to contrast that very transactional relationship with the stable axis that's forming between Russia and India.
The 23rd Annual Summit.
Exactly. They're finalizing a cooperation roadmap that goes all the way out to 2030. It's a deliberate move to insulate their partnership from any outside pressure.
And this commitment to pure pragmatism, it's now reaching even the big global institutions. We just saw the first ever full UN Security Council delegation visit post-Assad Syria.
Which is historic. I mean, that's the international community basically accepting a new political reality on the ground. The priority has clearly shifted from ideological regime change to just, functional governance.
It just shows how fast global engagement adapts.
It does.
And this geopolitical fracturing is mirrored, maybe even amplified, when we look at global economics.
Yeah.
If we pivot from diplomacy to money, the divergence is just so stark.
Oh, absolutely. Well, everyone in the U.S. is on the edge of their seat, waiting for this crucial PCE inflation data before a Fed rate cut.
The personal consumption expenditures, yeah.
Right. Well, while the U.S. waits, the Reserve Bank of India, the RBI, just went ahead and did it. A definitive 25 basis point rate cut, done.
And their reasoning is that they're in this, what they're calling a rare Goldilocks period.
Which means what, exactly?
It means they've got this amazing combination of robust Q2 GDP growth, we're talking 8.2%, and historically low CPI inflation at just 0.3%. It's a calculated risk to ride that momentum.
But it is a risk, and that's what makes this so important to watch.
I agree. I mean, the Indian rupee is trading near a record low. It's getting close to 90 per US dollar. Isn't executing a rate cut despite that currency pressure a massive gamble?
It's a huge gamble. And it confirms the RBI's strategy is growth first, period. They're looking at the mixed signals from the U.S., a resilient labor market on one hand, but corporate reports of 1.2 million job cuts planned for 2025 on the other, and they're choosing their own path.
They're acting autonomously. So that brings us to the third pillar, the technological apex. The sources are highlighting a groundbreaking development at Stanford.
This is monumental. They've demonstrated quantum entanglement at room temperature.
Which, for anyone not following quantum physics, basically means what?
It means they've solved the biggest engineering problem. They use something called molybdenum diselenide, and it gets rid of the need for those massive, super expensive cooling systems.
So it moves quantum communication from theory to...
From theoretical physics to scalable engineering, almost overnight. This fundamentally alters the entire trajectory of secure data transmission.
And this acceleration, it validates the focus we're seeing from the UN, right? With the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology?
It does. The IYQ is all about addressing the emerging quantum divide between the global north and south. And with this breakthrough, that race is now officially on.
So when you pull it all together, what's the synthesis?
I think the synthesis is clear. The global system is structurally decoupling. It's moving fast toward transactional relationships that are driven by pure geopolitical self-interest, economic exceptionalism, and these wild technological breakthroughs that just compress all the timelines.
So what does this all really mean for you? The RBI's move confirms that global capital now has a very clear choice to make. Do you prioritize the high growth and the high real returns offered by these newly autonomous emerging economies, or do you stick with the relative currency stability offered by developed markets?